lot of stuff on how my father raised us and my family, whatever, you know, as far as providing. But also I look at it like nowadays you gotta go with the time too. You can't just always base stuff on the past. And when I grew up, if you be real, nowadays everything's about social media. And the perception of social media, everyone is want to keep up with the Joneses. So you got a family. I'm a young man. I'm 30 years old, and I was married for 8 years. I'm married for 8 years. So being young and being married, you're dealing with social media. You're dealing with friends that's out here having a good time and going out to clubs and being in the DC area, DMV area. You're caught up in all that stuff, and then before you know it, you trying to keep up with the Joneses. Well, Shaniqua or whatever they going on vacation and they buying this and that and this and that, and you looking at it like, dang, what I ain't doing right as a, you know what I'm saying, for my wife to have that, or what she ain't doing right to please her man. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a perception of what everyone's looking at, but they're not looking at, you know, what's the real purpose y'all married? What's the real purpose are y'all together for? You see what I'm saying though? Teaching y'all kids to how to become, you know what I'm saying, fruitful, multiply, and to survive with what God gave you. But we so caught up on Facebook, Instagram, everyone's doing this and that, everyone's going to Miami, and not really focusing on what the purpose is. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's like you can't really harness the fact that back in the times where a household was like the Cosbys, the Huxtables, those were households where people looked up to and see how the family was supposed to be based. But now, you look at social media and TV, everything's reality TV shows. Wives going crazy, sitting at tables with different wives and stuff, making a mess of even our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it bothers me because I see a lot of our people. You see what I'm saying? I speak on my culture. You see what I'm saying? A lot of my culture that I see them doing this, and it doesn't give us a good representation of what family is and what it's supposed to be out here. You know?
I think if we were to look at the two ends of the spectrum, one being nature, you know, the way women initially used to be like gatherers and men used to be the hunters, and then you have the modern times when, you know, the expectation is that you're gonna go and earn as well, and not just myself. So I think, to me, I think that we should remain flexible.
Sure.
And sort of adjust to the circumstance, which could be unique to the society at that particular time in the evolution of the society itself.
Sure.
We are not gatherers and hunters anymore. And also unique to my family or your family for that matter. So I think what I would propose is the idea of remaining flexible between the two ends and go wherever your circumstance takes you.
Sure.
So if you have to be 100 and 100, that's fine. And if one has to take over the financial aspect, that's fine as well.
Yeah.
So that's the position that I would have. Also the fact that I think that whatever a man brings to the marriage is great, it should be recognized, but then whatever the woman brings to the marriage should also be celebrated, because the expectation for the woman to do exactly what a man does, I think is unreasonable. And vice versa, that the expectation for the man to do what a woman brings is also sort of, you know, kind of unreasonable.
Sure.
Because
sure.
what she brings, I just cannot.
Sure.
You know, because she's unique. She's a beautiful, wonderful, complete individual,
Yeah.
and she looks at the world through her lenses, the woman's lenses, which I just cannot. I mean, I try to be comfortable with my feminine side,
Yeah.
but there's an extent that I can be
Yeah.
feminine, but I cannot be completely
Sure,
a woman.
sure.
So I let her be the woman, you know,
Sure.
and let me be the man. Don't feminize me. I'm not going to try to masculinize you.
There you go.
So that's what my position would be.
So you're saying know your roles.
Yeah.
Establish the boundaries and know your roles in the marriage and kind of respect them. Pretty much. Like, don't go out there cutting the grass. That's my job.
Well,
Pretty
here's the thing. You see, what I have observed in life is that if you fight nature too much, it's like swimming upstream. I mean, you can swim, but hey, it's going to take a lot of energy, and you probably will get there like way later than you could have if you go with the flow. You know what nature intended you to do.
Yeah.
So if the nature intended me to be the man, I'm going to just be a cisgender man, you know, that I identify with my own gender.
Sure.
I'm not going to pretend to be a woman, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being transgender or whatnot, but I'm just saying in this context,
We understand.
in this
we
context,
understand.
in this context, what my role is, whatever I've acquired or accepted my role to be,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, okay, let me do that.
Sure.
And since you're good at that, it's called situational leadership. I am a leader because I excel in being a man. And you are a leader because in this situation we need a woman leader, and you are a woman. I just cannot be a woman, so I'll let you lead. So whatever that is, as a woman, let you lead, and I'm going to follow you.
But who is to lead though? When it's
Well-
all said and done, whose job is it to actually lead?
Well, it's all negotiable. I think it's a situational. It's between the man and the woman. Everybody is different. I cannot dictate what has worked for me to be juxtaposed on your life.
I got married in 2012. A lot of people pretty much know my story. Me and my wife got together. We probably was together for about 2 years before we got married. You know what I'm saying? Nothing serious. Got engaged for a year, got married. Conceived a child a year later. And then that following year, I just recently lost my wife, man. So it makes it a year, man. But if I could piggyback on that, man, marriage is really about what you make it, man. Like if you really put like that weight on it, you know what I mean, and just not just live, like, you know what I'm saying, y'all on that paperwork, you know what I'm saying, to death do y'all part. You know what I mean, you gotta live it up like that, you know what I'm saying, like take advantage of a lot of this stuff that's going on out here, like the stuff on TV, social media, like we really get distracted by all that stuff, you know what I mean, like you see all this stuff on TV, real, I don't know nothing about it. I don't really watch all that stuff, man, but like a lot of this stuff, we really do get distracted from it. Because some of it's not even real, you know what I mean? It's scripted, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And we're just watching, we're taking it in, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is really what's going on. No, this is not really what's going on, man. Like, you only got it one time, you know what I mean? Like, if I ever had a chance to get married, man, I'm not even thinking about getting married again, but I'm just saying, like, that one time, like, even being married, you know what I'm saying, my first experience for that first year before we ran into our second year, like, I learned a whole lot of things, you know what I'm saying? I gained a whole lot of wisdom out of that, man, and like, I'm just saying, like, if you got that, you know what I mean, like, take advantage of it, man. Don't take it like, you know what I mean, like, I really look at relationships another type of way now, you know what I mean? I really take it really serious, you know what I'm saying? I don't just it's a relationship. No, it's not just a relationship, you know what I'm saying? It's about what you make it, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So don't just be in it just to be in it, you know what I'm saying? Wasting each other's time, you know what I mean?
Here would be a question, you're right, it's about what you make it. But we took a survey in this room of how many men came from two-parent households. See, the whole idea of marriage and relationship is supposed to be, that's the one thing you're supposed to live at home. You can't go to school and learn that. So most of us learn from home. And with the deterioration of home, everybody is right. We start looking at TV. We want to be what we see on TV in the media. Is that by accident? No. What's happening in our homes, what's happening in our people is not an accident. It is a plan because it worked too great in such a short period of time.
Sure.
Take, for instance, home ownership. Who in here bought their first home? Now, if you've lived in an apartment, if you lived in a condo, my buddy just bought a home, and he's called me, man. I keep saying over the joys of home ownership. I got a new neighbor 3 weeks ago, and today, what is it, 95 degrees today? I'm driving down the street to come here, and this brother's out in the yard with a real mower. Them old mowers you push it, does like that with the things that turn on it.
No motor?
No motor.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, why in the world, and it looks new. You went to the store and bought that thing with that front yard on a hot day, but if that's all he knows. He never cut grass before.
Sure.
The man is probably 40 years old. That grown kid, got kids, but this is the first lawn he's ever cut.
Sure. Can I stop you right there?
Yeah.
Because I like where you're going. I like where you're at. So, in order to buy a home, you should probably do some research on home ownership. Pretty much. Go to a seminar, figure out what a lawnmower is, get you a Lowe's card. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing, right. So why, when we get into a commitment called marriage, we don't do the research to find out what it is to be a married?
Well, you bought the house already. Your research
So
got to
that-
start, and that was the point of socialness.
Sure.
You're 1 and 2, we talk our daughters, our children, teaching our children just to stick with it. How many kids know, how many kids will throw down the ball and go off the basketball court because they ain't winning?
Yeah.
That is a model for their marriage.
Yeah. That sounds
How
like
many
a
men
kid
gonna
without
say,
a father.
you don't quit, get back in there. You don't
Exactly.
quit, you don't quit.
Exactly.
You never quit.
Yeah.
Just like they quit. Everybody, there's gonna be some winners, some losers. You'll win next time.
Yeah.
All those principles you learn
Yeah.
are applied then to relationship, applied to your life and marriage.
Okay.
But like
Okay.
you said though,
Right here.
like you said though, every household wasn't raised the same. Like, and like you said, I grew up in two parents household. Father, he was on the road, truck driving, but he was on he was on crack cocaine heavy. So when he was in town, he wasn't in town. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
And my mom is what kind of had this ability and taught us how to do certain things. Go out there and mow the lawn. You see what I'm saying? Go out there, take the trash out. Certain things you learn, and then the stuff that you learn from him, you got to take it from him. You see what I'm saying? But it's now you're a man and you learn it. Like literally, I'm married for 8 years, so it took me 8 years to become a man and know how to be a married man. You see what I'm saying? And it took so many falling trials, tribulations, but you know when you got a good person when she puts up with that. She puts up with, and she's there for you. I was locked up. She was there with me.
Sure.
You see him the whole way. And when I was down, when I had a cent in my pocket, she was like, baby, you know, I'm feeling you always at the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? I think that's God telling you something. Go, do your dream. And then from there on, it's been a blessing. So you got to know. It also comes down to this too. And what he was saying about the 50-50 and stuff like that, that's nothing wrong with that. But I was taught everybody's not for you. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
You can't just marry somebody because the relationship is good. Like, you'll know. You see what I'm saying? I don't know what everybody's religion is, but I believe in God. You see what I'm saying? So
Sure.
also, you got to know God's going to tell you. He's gonna give you a woman for your life. You can't just because she's voluptuous and she looks like Halle Berry, that's the woman. You can't do that, because if you do that, you'll be caught up in the facade and be stuck.
That's right.
And you'll be stuck with somebody that's crazy, someone has their own ways. You know what I'm saying? And I told myself, I said, God forbid, if I ever get married again, I'm gonna find a female that has a father in the household. You see what I'm saying? Because my wife, her father, it's another story. I'm not gonna get on that on camera, but her father, caused her to have so many insecurities in so many ways that I gotta raise another child.
Wow.
So it's like you growing up, I'm already dealing with stuff but I gotta man up, suck my stuff up, and teach her how to be a woman. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then provide. But that's the part of being a man. That's what I wake up for. I wake up for it every day, show my little men how to be men, show my wife to how to be a wife. You see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
And just it strive to become better. You're not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna be perfect. We all didn't fell short. Everybody, I don't know everybody's story in here, but
Sure. I'm
pretty sure everybody did something they didn't want to do.
Sure.
But that's the point of marriage though. It's part of the relationship growing. It's two different households coming together.
So
Two
let me
different
ask you a
households coming
question.
together.
How do you think, because there's something that you did to acquire this relationship with your wife, where she's ride or die. What do you think you did to contribute to that? Because everybody don't have it.
Because I think when she met me when I was at my Rambo stage, like I was totally out there, and she seen me put my pride in who I was aside.
Sure.
You see, growing up in this area, like for the most part, everyone has to be somebody stamped, or they got to be official, or just something not going in the right direction. And when she seen me put my pride to my side and who I was and what I had, and to the side and become a man and be a father and be a husband, she respected that.
Sure.
And she's like, you know what? I got me a winner. If he gonna put aside what he gonna put aside, then I can ride with him. If I can't, if he can't put aside who he is and he want to do what he want to do, then I can't ride with him.
So would you say that she saw you at your vulnerable state?
Yeah, she seen
and
my
respected
vulnerable
that.
state. Yeah, she
Because
seen
a lot
my-
of times we taught the man up and not show any vulnerability at all. But I believe that kind of helped you in your position, right?
I think it definitely did. I mean, one of the things about all men, we got pride, and if we don't put away our pride, then we gonna lose every time.
Okay.
Because it's like we got so much pride built up, and that's in us naturally.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, this dude right here, it's just naturally. If you put that pride aside for a little bit, guarantee you be successful in your marriage, like for real.
I call that get out of your own way.
Yeah,
Pretty much. We got another barber over here. We've been freezing him out too.
Chime in on the situation just a little bit. I only been married about 9 months. But I think marriage has changed versus over the time, gender roles was different. For my mom and dad been married 41 years. So I came up, I had both parents all along.
Sure.
And now that I'm married, from seeing where my mom came from now to see how my wife is, women are making more money now.
Sure.
Money brings power in the world that we live in.
Yes.
And to me, it's just that, okay, women knew their roles back then different because the man was to provide. They stayed at home with the kids. They did their role. Now, they're working, if not more than the man is.
Yeah.
Making more money
Sure.
than the man is.
Yes.
So that's where the power is coming into where it's, okay, well, now the man can do the laundry.
So if the man know his role, if he know his role, she can be a CEO at work, but she still got to be Mrs. My wife at home.
And I think that's where the problem comes in, because when your wife's at work making $250,000 a year, I may be making $100,000 a year. Well, somebody got to cook dinner. I'm tired, and that's where the power struggle may come into some marriages, and that's where I think that the gender role differs now versus what